This video is not intended to inspire any conflicts. It is provided solely for informational purposes, including all content and images. Comparison of Sunni Bedouin tribes and Druze armed militias. Comprehensive analysis. Sunni Bedouin tribes. Definition. Bedouins, from Arabic Badawi, meaning desert dweller, are nomadic or semi-nomadic Arab tribes primarily inhabiting desert regions across the Arabian Peninsula, North Africa, the Levant, and Mesopotamia. Most Bedouins in the Middle East adhere to Sunni Islam, with rare exceptions in Syria, where some tribes may follow other sects. Geographic presence. In Syria, Bedouin tribes are prominent in desert areas, including Suwayda, and are known for their mobility and pastoral lifestyle, e.g., camel, sheep, and goat herding. Cultural context. Bedouins live in tribal structures, organized into clans, hamula, and tribes led by a sheikh who serves as a leader and judge. Their society emphasizes tribal loyalty, hospitality, and traditional dispute resolution, sulha. Druze armed militias. Definition. The Druze are an ethno-religious minority group primarily in Syria, Lebanon, Israel, and Jordan, following a monotheistic faith derived from Ismaili Shi'ism, but distinct in its beliefs. In Syria, Druze militias are community-based armed groups that protect Druze-majority areas such as Suwayda. Geographic presence. In Syria, the Druze are concentrated in the Suwayda governorate, where they form a significant portion of the population and maintain local control through militias. Cultural context. The Druze are known for their strong communal identity, secrecy of religious practices, and historical resilience against external threats. Their militias are often organized to defend their communities rather than pursue offensive campaigns. Manpower, Sunni Bedouin tribes. Exact numbers are difficult to estimate due to the nomadic nature of Bedouin tribes and lack of centralized registration. In Syria, Bedouin tribes may number in the tens of thousands, with fighting-age males forming small, decentralized armed groups, Druze armed militias. In Suwayda, the Druze population is around 700,000, with militias likely comprising several thousand fighters. Estimates suggest 5,000 to 10,000 in local defense groups. These are community-based, with most adult males trained in basic combat. Organization. Sunni Bedouin tribes. Tribes are organized into clans led by sheikhs, with larger confederations forming during conflicts. Each tribe may field dozens to hundreds of fighters, often lightly armed. Druze armed militias. Militias are semi-centralized, often led by community leaders or religious figures, with coordination through local councils. Groups like the Men of Dignity have emerged as prominent in Suwayda. Weapons. Sunni Bedouin tribes, typically equipped with small arms, e.g., AK-47s, pistols, machine guns, and improvised vehicles, e.g., armed pickup trucks. Some tribes may possess RPGs or light mortars from black market sources in conflict zones like Syria. Druze armed militias, small arms, AK-47s, sniper rifles, machine guns, RPGs, and some anti-tank weapons. Limited access to heavier systems, e.g., mortars, due to Syria's fragmented arms market. Mobility. Sunni Bedouin tribes, high due to their nomadic lifestyle and use of vehicles suited for desert terrain. They lack heavy armor or advanced systems. Druze armed militias, moderate, with operations focused on defending Druze majority areas. They use fortified positions and urban terrain in Suwayda. Support. Sunni Bedouin tribes, minimal external backing, reliance on tribal resources and local alliances. Some Syrian Bedouins have historically aligned with or opposed the Assad regime or rebel groups, depending on interests. Druze armed militias, limited external support, though some coordination with Syrian government forces or Russian advisors has been reported. Israel's reported strikes in Suwayda suggest indirect monitoring of Druze activities. Structure. Sunni Bedouin tribes, decentralized tribal-based organization with loyalty to sheikhs and clan leaders. Decision-making is consensus-driven, with sheikhs resolving disputes through traditional mechanisms, sulha. Druze armed militias, semi-centralized, community-driven organization with militias tied to local Druze leadership. Religious and community elders play a significant role in mobilization. Training. Sunni Bedouin tribes, informal with combat skills passed through tribal traditions. Fighters are adept at guerrilla tactics, ambushes, and desert warfare, leveraging mobility and knowledge of terrain. Druze armed militias. Militia members receive basic military training, often supplemented by experience from Syria's civil war. They focus on defensive operations, leveraging urban and mountainous terrain in Suwayda. Tactics. Sunni Bedouin tribes focus on hit-and-run attacks, raids, and checkpoints. As seen in the Suwayda incident where Bedouins set up an illegal checkpoint. Druze armed militias. Defensive, with an emphasis on protecting Druze communities. In Suwayda, Druze militias launched retaliatory offensives to recover their kidnapped merchant, indicating offensive capabilities when provoked. Cultural values. Sunni Bedouin tribes emphasize tribal honor, independence, and survival in harsh environments. Sunni Islam shapes their worldview, though tribal identity often supersedes religious ideology. Druze armed militias, strong communal cohesion, secrecy of religious practices, and a history of self-reliance against external threats. The Druze are known for loyalty to their community and adaptability in conflict zones. Recent actions. Sunni Bedouin tribes. In Suwayda, Bedouin tribes mobilized rapidly in response to Druze attacks, declaring jihad and attacking Druze villages, indicating a capacity for quick, aggressive escalation. Druze armed militias. Druze militias responded to the Bedouin kidnapping with coordinated attacks, escalating into broader violence, showing their ability to mobilize quickly and decisively. Strengths. Weaknesses. Sunni Bedouin tribes. Strengths. Mobility and terrain expertise. Their nomadic lifestyle provides unparalleled knowledge of desert environments, enabling effective guerrilla tactics and rapid movement. Tribal cohesion. Strong loyalty within clans ensures quick mobilization and resilience in small-scale conflicts. Adaptability. Bedouins can operate with limited resources, using improvised weapons and vehicles suited for desert warfare. Decentralized structure. Lack of a rigid hierarchy makes them hard to target or disrupt, as seen in their ability to set up checkpoints in Suwayda. Druze armed militias strengths. Community unity. The Druze's tight-knit community ensures high morale and coordinated defense, critical in Suwayda's volatile environment. Defensive fortifications. Use of urban and mountainous terrain in Suwayda provides a natural advantage for holding ground. Combat experience. Syria's civil war has seasoned Druze militias, giving them practical experience in urban combat and small unit tactics. Local support. Strong backing from the Druze population ensures logistical and intelligence support, enhancing their effectiveness in localized conflicts. Sunni Bedouin tribes. Weaknesses. Limited firepower, reliance on light weapons and lack of heavy equipment, for example tanks, artillery, limits their ability to engage in sustained or large-scale conflicts. Fragmentation. Tribal rivalries and decentralized leadership can hinder unified action, as seen in their sporadic alliances in Syria's civil war. Resource constraints. Lack of consistent external support and reliance on local resources restrict operational scope. Vulnerability to retaliation. Their nomadic lifestyle makes them vulnerable to reprisals, as seen in Druze attacks on Bedouin villages in Suwayda. Druze armed militias. Weaknesses. Limited numbers, smaller population, 7,700,000 in Suwayda, restricts the size of their militias compared to larger tribal or state forces. Geographic constraint. Focused on defending Suwayda, their operations lack the mobility of Bedouin tribes, limiting offensive reach. dependence on local resources, limited access to advanced weapons, and external support restricts their ability to counter heavily armed adversaries. Risk of escalation, aggressive responses like those in Suwayda, can draw in larger actors, e.g. Syrian forces, Israel, complicating their position. Comparison in context, Suwayda conflict, July 2025. Trigger. The conflict began with a Bedouin kidnapping of a Druze merchant, escalating into retaliatory attacks by Druze militias and Bedouin counterattacks, including a declared jihad. Bedouin approach, leveraged mobility and tribal networks to set up checkpoints and launch rapid attacks on Druze villages, showing guerrilla tactics but limited coordination. Druze approach, responded with organized militia offensives, focusing on community defense and retaliation, demonstrating stronger local control but less mobility. Outcome. The rapid collapse of a ceasefire involving Syrian forces, Israel, Druze, and Bedouins highlights the volatility of both groups' actions and external involvement. External factors. Israel's reported strikes and Syrian government involvement suggest both groups are influenced by larger geopolitical dynamics, complicating their autonomy. Broader context. Bedouin tribes. Historically, Bedouins have been involved in regional conflicts as auxiliary forces or independent actors, often aligning with local powers, e.g. Assad regime rebels, based on tribal interests. Their Sunni identity aligns them with broader Arab networks, but does not guarantee unified action. Druze militias. The Druze have a history of self-preservation, maintaining autonomy in conflicts like Syria's civil war. Their militias prioritize community defense, making them less expansionist but highly resilient in their strongholds. Comparison to other groups. Unlike the centralized professional armies discussed previously, e.g. US, China, Taiwan, both Bedouin tribes and Druze militias operate as decentralized, community-based forces, relying on local knowledge and limited arsenals rather than state-backed resources. Conclusion. The Sunni Bedouin tribes and Druze armed militias represent distinct models of non-state military actors in the Middle East. Bedouins excel in mobility, guerrilla tactics, and tribal cohesion, leveraging their nomadic expertise but limited by fragmented leadership and light armament. Druze militias prioritize community defense, benefiting from strong local unity and combat experience, but constrained by their smaller numbers and geographic focus. The Suwayda conflict illustrates their contrasting approaches: Bedouins' rapid, decentralized attacks versus Druze's organized defensive responses, highlighting their strengths and vulnerabilities in a volatile region. Thanks for watching.